When we protect our natural resources, our flora and fauna, and find smarter ways to adapt, we not only secure our environment, but also our own future. Hello and welcome. I'm Sadhika Tiwari and you're watching Eco India. With rapid urbanization and increasing climate pressures, the delicate and crucial balance of our planet is under threat. But real solutions lie within this balance. Chinar leaves, which look similar to the Canadian maple leaf from a distance, are a symbol of Kashmir's heritage. They can be seen in motifs, in memento shops for tourists, and of course in the majestic gardens of Srinagar. But these magnificent trees are now disappearing. However, not everyone is ready to let them go. Let's meet a few determined people in Kashmir who are trying hard to save these trees that are equally important for the ecology and the cultural identity of the region.
Beneath the chinar, I waited in vain, where once your footsteps kissed the earth. The leaves whispered, "She will return." But the wind carried only your silence. O chinar, you shade a lonely heart, a witness to love, now lost in time. The poem Under the Chinar, translated from Kashmiri. It was written by one of Kashmir's most famous poets, Rasul Mir, an ode to the chinar tree penned in the 19th century. For Kashmiris, the chinar is more than just a tree. It's a cultural icon. Poet and cultural expert Gulshan Badri says the tree is part of Kashmir's heritage.
In the past, when people wanted to discuss matters at the village level, they would say, "Let's meet under the chinar tree." The chinar was a platform, a stage, an auditorium where everyone would gather. Important discussions and decisions regarding village affairs took place beneath its branches. It was an integral part of our traditions. Writers and poets would often sit beneath its shade. Back then, the chinar tree was the only refuge from the summer heat.
One of the world's largest chinar trees stands on the outskirts of Srinagar. It's over 700 years old. Very few of these oriental plane trees now reach that kind of age. In the 1970s, Kashmir had 42,000 chinar trees. Experts believe today there are less than half that number. The speed at which they're disappearing is alarming. Many chinars have been felled to make way for new roads or buildings. Others are simply chopped down for firewood. Climate change is also taking its toll on these majestic trees, with periods of dry weather getting longer and hotter. Researcher Akhtar Malik from the University of Kashmir is concerned about the decline of the trees. He says they're also important for the climate in Kashmir. The chinar reduces the heat in cities during the summer, helping to regulate the temperature.
It also reduces the amount of other pollutants from the atmosphere. If we talk about its role in carbon mitigation, this chinar tree, it reduces the amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere, by which it proves very important in carbon mitigation.
The Kashmir University campus is itself home to the Naseem Bagh Garden. In the 17th century, Mughal Emperor Akbar had 1,200 chinar trees planted here. Around 500 have since been lost. The Shalimar Garden is another historic Mughal garden in Srinagar. Here, many chinar trees are in a critical condition. Now, in winter, everything is dormant. But in the spring and summer months, every tree that's missing is felt. With a height of up to 35 meters, the chinars provide a home for numerous creatures.
If we talk of its role in biodiversity, particularly with respect to faunal diversity, this chinar tree provides a habitat for birds, insects. If we talk of some birds like owl species, which was very common 2 decades back in Kashmir. Now it is rare because we have changed, our entire landscape has changed because of this urbanization, because of this habitat change. Vis-a-vis, we have reduced the cover of trees with reference to chinar tree.
And it is the chinar trees that shape the appearance of numerous tourist attractions in Kashmir. The magnificent gardens and the islands of Char Chinar would be inconceivable without them. In the 17th century, a brother of the then Mughal emperor had the island created in the middle of the Dal Lake and had chinar trees planted on it. Local boat owners bring hundreds of tourists to the island every year. And tourism is an important source of income in Kashmir. Last year alone, the region drew 3 million visitors. So, it's in Kashmir's interest to ensure that the tree population does not decline any further. Dr. Syed Tariq is a project coordinator at the Forest Research Institute in Srinagar. He and his team are currently cataloguing the trees and geotagging them.
We put a QR code on it. You can scan the code with any phone and find out the details of that particular chinar. What are its attributes? How tall is it? What about the branches? And what condition is the tree in?
ये चीजें भी आप नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं उसमें से कि इसके कितने branches हैं and what is the condition of that tree.
If it's been attacked by pests, any kind of infestation, that information will be included as well. So every chinar now has its own ID.
Less than 100 kilometers from Srinagar, Abdul Ahad Khan is working hard, planting chinar trees. He ekes out a living by working day jobs in agriculture or construction. But a few years ago, he discovered his passion for Kashmir's iconic tree. He grows all the seedlings himself. In the first few years after planting, he uses organic methods to ensure they stay healthy and have enough nutrients.
I've seen these trees all over Kashmir, although in small numbers. But I've never seen anyone actually planting them. And this thought fascinated me. Could this be a project? I decided I would start it myself. These are magnificent trees.
Magnificent indeed. And with determined efforts, Kashmir may hope to be able to retain its cultural icon so that these beautiful trees can once again flourish for generations to come.
What do you think of when you think of a smart village? Technologically advanced, fully digitized, yet sustainable, equitable and inclusive. But what happens when big ideas don't translate into reality, and what we find is no clean water, increasing health crises and failing infrastructure. And yet it is called a smart village. Let's go here and take a closer look at the life and challenges of those who live here.
The high-rise blocks of Noida, a city southeast of Delhi. Only people of a certain income can afford to live here. Noida is known for its affluent residential districts. But less than 30 kilometers from here lies the village of Uncha Amirpur. The buildings and infrastructure in the village are far from high-tech. And yet, Uncha Amirpur is supposed to have become a smart village. It is one of 14 villages selected for the transformation by the Greater Noida Industrial Development Authority in 2021. Santosh Kumar Singh and his company advised numerous businesses and initiatives on going smart. He tells us what is meant by a smart village.
I think one of the core feature of a smart villages is that how they can get access to the latest technological development, latest digital innovations. And using those innovations and technologies, we can provide some of the basic services, the critical services in the best possible manner. So most of the smart villages program aim to provide all those critical basic amenities as well as the latest technological solutions to the villagers, so they are not left behind in this journey of growth.
Makoda is another village that was set to go smart, but it has neither modern infrastructure nor a water management system. The local school boasts an interactive whiteboard with an internet connection provided by the government, but nothing else in the village has been given the upgrade. We don't have any main facilities, no cleanliness, no employment at all. National skill development centers were supposed to be set up as part of the scheme, but I haven't seen a single one in our district. Tilapta is just 3 kilometers away. Home to 20,000 people, it is also a smart village, albeit a slightly larger one. The streets here are lined with garbage. There's no sign of a smart waste management system. The overflowing waste has long polluted the local groundwater. What used to be seasonal health issues have now become continuous ones. The water has been contaminated with the solid waste that's dumped here. As part of the program, the government promised to provide its smart villages with greater access to electricity. But residents say people here generally only have power for half the day. Everything goes dark in the evening. So why don't the smart villages work? After all, weren't they supposed to be a model for many more to come? We contacted the Greater Noida authorities but still haven't had an answer. Residents tell us that unlike in the past, their communities no longer have a say in what happens. We've had no Panchayati Raj system here for 10 years. We have no elected representatives, no village head, no village members, no governing body. As a result, there's no accountability. Development institutions and healthcare services have collapsed, making our problems worse. That's one of several explanations. Apart from petitioning the government, there's not a lot people here can do, except hope that their smart village may one day finally become a reality.
Monsoon floods and landslides in Wayanad often make headlines because of their intensity and scale of devastation. And the worst affected, like everywhere else, are farmers who struggle to save their crop. But what if they could predict rainfall with greater accuracy? A local initiative is changing the game by using hyper-local data and community-driven weather monitoring.
Another heavy downpour catches people in the Wayanad region unprepared. For 5 years, extreme weather has become more common here. Each time, there's as much rainfall within a few days as there usually is in 3 months during the monsoon. Landslides trigger mudslides and rock avalanches that bury everything under them. Farmers in the region also have few defenses against such extreme weather, and yet India has no shortage of weather stations.
India is a country which has invested so much on rain forecasting, on weather forecasting for the farmers. Their system still doesn't tell you whether it's going to rain in my village, in my valley, tomorrow or not.
Organic farmer Rajesh Krishnan set up a collective of organic rice farmers in 2017. The farmers are also part of the Wayanad Weather Forecast community. It works together with meteorologists from the Hume Center and Cochin University. The scientists have developed a climate monitoring system that produces local weather forecasts. To do this, they need precise data from the area. That's where local residents come in.
We identified local people from the villages, farmers, school teachers, and students, etc., etc. And these people were given training how to measure rainfall.
The data is recorded and analyzed in spreadsheets. This enables the scientists to determine which areas will have the heaviest rainfall at what time. Cochin University has a supercomputer with access to data from global weather models. The scientists use this to compare the data from Wayanad and then create a local weather forecast for the region.
Data updation is the major thing. We have to spend much time on that. We have to take every grid's data, then only we can make it perfect that how much intensity was there in each grid.
Wayanad is located in the Western Ghats, a hilly region that is often affected by the El Niño climate pattern. Rising sea surface temperatures affect the amount of rainfall here.
The global warming induced changes in the sea surface temperature increase in Arabian Sea has contributed for creating more vertical cloud formation, and these clouds are approaching along with the monsoon into the Western Ghats. So wherever there are high steep mountains, there is an orographic lift of clouds from the base to the top of the mountain, and when it reaches like 2,300 meters, it starts precipitating in that particular area, leading to a longer cloud-burst event.
The more data the team receives, the more accurately they can predict where it will rain heavily. But for that, they need far more people on board. Of the region's around 900,000 residents, the scientists have only reached around 400. But they regularly share their data in a WhatsApp group and find it really helpful. Farmer Jayaprakash Narayanan has been involved since 2021. Every morning, he measures moisture levels in his soil and posts the data in the group. In the afternoon, he receives a rainfall forecast for the region. So far, they have been 75 to 80% accurate, he says. Advanced knowledge helps us make informed decisions, such as when to move coffee to the drying yard. This timely information and its effective use are crucial for optimizing our farming practices and also so that we can pass the information on to other farmers. Both sides benefit from their combined efforts. The model could also be implemented in other regions in India in order to better protect the rural population in particular from extreme weather events.
What compels an engineer to become a farmer? Profitability or sustainability? An engineer turned farmer in Tamil Nadu has found the answer. By combining livestock, crops, poultry and organic practices, he has developed a self-sustaining agricultural system that not only boosts yields but also reduces risks. This practice is now gaining popularity, and just within Tamil Nadu, 600 such farms are all set to go.
Sambat Kumar is an engineer by trade, but for 14 years now, he's been running his own farm. On 10 hectares of land, he rears animals and grows crops in an almost completely circular system. He uses no chemical fertilizers or pesticides. After initially trying out various approaches, business is now good. In addition to crops, cattle, and poultry, we also rear fish and rabbits in our integrated farm. We use the feces as manure for our crops. That's how integrated farming becomes very profitable. The government of Tamil Nadu offers financial support to farmers who switch to sustainable integrated farming, because starting out is not easy. Sambat Kumar has not ploughed his fields for 12 years. The natural manure from the animals provides everything the soil needs. The microorganisms and worms loosen the upper layers of soil all by themselves. But this process takes time. And you won't find any large fields with monocultures here. To avoid weeds, we do multi-cropping. In the first acre, we have coconuts. In the second, tree crops. In the third, crops like plantain and papaya. In the fourth, moringa trees and fodder crops. And in the fifth, peppers. We order them according to the sunlight. When there's enough shade, the growth of weeds is automatically controlled. Here in Tamil Nadu, as elsewhere, farming has long been affected by climate change, with droughts that last far too long, followed by very heavy rain. Sustainable farms like Sambat Kumar's are much better placed to cope, as marketers are well aware. Given these changes, the risk factor is way higher for farmers than for other sectors. But doing multi-cropping gradually decreases the risk. If there's no rain for 3 months, we can still earn from one crop to another. But farming a single crop is like gambling. There's only one option. You win or lose everything. Another factor in the farm's success, Sambat Kumar processes his own produce. He dries the coconuts or turns them into oil with his own mill. Bananas also earn him more if they are dried before sale. Professional marketers link him with customers. We are constantly establishing markets for organic farmers and produce. Customers want multiple organic products from one farmer. So when a farmer does multi-cropping, it's easy for us to create a direct link with customers. But monocropping makes it more difficult to reach customers and sell the produce. So integrated farming is very beneficial. Sambat Kumar's farm has long been a profitable business thanks to integrated farming. It's a model for success also for other farmers in the region.
As cities expand and natural habitats shrink, wildlife is being forced into unfamiliar and dangerous landscapes. Birds collide into buildings, animals are electrocuted on power lines, and many fall victim to hunting and habitat destruction. In Spain, Europe's largest wildlife hospital is stepping in and helping these animals adapt to a rapidly changing world.
Another feathery friend rescued thanks to Nacho Otero. He nursed the kestrel back to health in a Spanish wildlife clinic. The bird of prey had flown into a fence and injured its leg. After being tagged, it'll be released.
Releasing them into the wild is the most beautiful moment. Some fall by the wayside, but all of us here do our best to ensure as many animals as possible survive.
We're in Majadahonda, on the outskirts of Madrid, visiting Europe's largest wildlife veterinary clinic. In just 1 year, 6,500 native animals were treated here. Brought in by hikers or foresters, mainly birds, but also reptiles. And the odd oinking mammal. This baby wild boar was found roaming around alone after a hunt. Most likely its mother was shot. Wild boars are not protected. In fact, several places have problems with population control. Still, they will treat the little squeaker. Another team examines an eagle owl. The bird was shot. One of its eyes had to be removed. Like all birds of prey, eagle owls are protected in Spain and mustn't be hunted.
It's an environmental crime, and that's how we deal with it. We perform autopsies and report to the authorities, so the offence can be legally pursued.
This griffon vulture didn't make it. It hit a power line. Irene Lopez finds severe burns on its wing. Even electrocutions like this are treated as criminal offences, not as accidents. Energy companies must take action.
Unfortunately, this happens quite often. Although we actively search for dangerous spots, asking energy companies to better insulate their power lines, birds keep dying, especially the big ones.
Some animals have to stay here for good. With severe injuries, they wouldn't stand a chance in the wild. Unlike Nacho's kestrel, which is ready to leave the clinic and show off its abilities in the wild.
It can fly over 100 kilometers per hour, but its head stays steady. If it didn't, it wouldn't be able to hunt. Look, its head always stays still.
The time has almost come. A thrill that never gets old for Nacho and his colleagues.
It touches you. No matter the animal, be it inconspicuous or even majestic, it's always something special.
Finally, the moment of truth. The kestrel soars again.
That's it for today's episode. As we saw, conservation isn't just about saving the environment. It is also about securing our own future. Do you know of any such solutions that are being built keeping both nature and people in mind? We'd love to hear about it. Reach out to us via email or speak to me directly on my social media handles. I will see you next week with more such stories. Until then, take care, goodbye, namaskar.